You think it ain't when it is? Uh, you think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. It looks like I need to wipe off my screen tonight. Hold on. I'm not sure if we looking. I think that's better. I don't think we was looking clear, dear. I don't think we was looking clear. What's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Tonight, Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursday. And tonight on the Daily Go Getimism show, we are talking about the more expensive woman, the young one or the middle-aged one? The young woman or the middle-aged woman? Which one would y'all say is more expensive to carry, to maintain, to get with, to be with, for the short term, for the long term? Now, that's not to say that either one of them or any woman is necessarily out for money, but expectations are going to be set because we're adults. And as adults, we may have children, we may have assets, we may have bills to pay. You know, we got things that we have to do. So when you really think about forming a relationship and how you may size people up in a relationship, you know, these questions may come into question, especially if you're a middle-aged man or an older man, or maybe even a younger man that is interested in one or the other or both. You know, you're going to have to calculate, just like if you were picking a school to go to. You're going somewhere to get knowledge. Are you going to go to a trade school or a college? Or should I say a college or a university? Because technically, tech schools are colleges. But anyway, you know, you still have to decide how much you're going to be able to afford to go. You know, are you going to have to borrow a lot of money? Will you be able to pay out of pocket? Will you be able to maintain for 4 years or however long it takes for you to get your degree, your diploma, or your certification to be able to secure the kind of career that you're looking for? So the same way, when you're looking at a relationship, you should probably be looking farther down the line to decide if it's going to be lucrative for you to be with somebody that you want to get with. And by lucrative, I don't mean that you're going to make money off of a person. I mean, is it going to serve your heart well? Is it going to serve your emotions well? Is it going to serve you well mentally? Is it going to be good for you physically? And also financially. You know, it's hard to make any decisions in this world, in this capitalistic society, without taking into consideration how much something is going to cost. You know, you can do it. You can make moves without thinking about how much something is going to cost. But the people who normally throw caution to the wind when it comes to finances are people who are already financially well off. So they may be able to afford just going over the top and deciding that no matter how much it costs, I'm going to spend it. I'm going to spend that money. But when we're asking the question, the more expensive woman, who is the more expensive woman? The young woman, the little baddie, or the older woman? Or should I say the middle-aged woman? Now, when I say middle-aged, I'm talking about like 40 up to about 55. Yeah, because middle-aged is supposed to be like the middle of your life. And I don't know if you're in the middle of your life at 50. I don't know how many of us are going to actually make it to be 100 years old. But nonetheless, we should be planning to do that and thinking somewhere along those lines. So which one would be more expensive for a man? Now, of course, there are going to be some men who are going to say, neither one of them are going to be expensive for me because I ain't paying nothing. Well, then you probably need the younger one. Now, a lot of us start thinking like, nah, young women, you know, they'll take all your money because they want this, they want to go here, and they want, you know, they want expensive handbags and all that kind of stuff. Guess what? Middle-aged women want those kind of things too, but they may have already devised ways to be able to pay for those things themselves, but it doesn't mean that they won't accept those gifts from you or expect you to be able to pay for those things, even if you're not going to give it to them. Now, my perspective is that middle-aged women are more expensive than younger women. Why do I say that? Because a middle-aged woman has already been through the fire. They may have been married once, twice, maybe even 3 times. They may have already owned a home, lost a home, got a home again. They may have already rented for 15, 20 years and now own a home, or they may be on their way to finally securing a home for themselves after renting for all of those years. So, and they probably worked at a job for double-digit years, whether they worked in one place for all of those years or whether they have worked in that career field for all of those years. If they've been married, it's possible that they may have already been with a husband that took care of everything. So they may be looking for the same type of arrangement, whether it worked out for them emotionally or not, romantically or not. With a young girl, they just starting out. A young girl, even though y'all may look at it like, nah, they want everything. They want everything they see. They want expensive phones and gadgets and tech and all of that kind of stuff. Not all of them are into that. But a young girl will give a young man a chance. They will press an old head. An old head going to have to give up some money, but a young man doesn't necessarily have to give a young woman any money. He might just be working on his mixtape. She going to stay in there. Yeah, you about to blow, boo. You about to blow, boo. A young woman would let a young man stay with her. He ain't got no job playing PlayStation 5 all day. Those are the kind of things that a younger woman is going to put up with. I can't see a middle-aged woman putting up with that kind of shit. She has a son that age who's doing that she may be trying to, light a fire under his ass to get him into the workforce. A young woman will put up with a broke nigga for a good while. She'll complain about it. And if it don't work out in the long run, boy, will she bitch about it. But she will let some young niggas, some young broke niggas live with her. She might pay for some things. She might carry him for a little while, have babies by him. An older woman already got finished having her babies, more than likely. I mean, unless you fuck around and get you one of them chicks that's still down to have a baby within her while she in her 40s. Hey, you never know. You never know. But nonetheless, the likelihood that a middle-aged woman is concentrating on having children is a lot lower. But that don't mean that they don't have real bills. No, they got revolving accounts. A younger woman, well, I'll tell you this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never known a younger woman that depended on a young man to put them through school. They might want to get their rent paid or make sure that you have your half of the rent, but I've never known of a situation where a younger woman expected her man around her age to pay for her school tuition. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've been around for a long time and I have actually been in that position before. So, yeah. Now, she might expect for him to create a situation where she can go to school or she can concentrate on school. So he may be, picking up the slack as far as the bills in the apartment or the house or whatever, hold it down for her. But I don't know if she'll straight up expect for him to pay the tuition. But y'all may know some people that I don't know. What's going on, T. Carey? Right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Carp Diem, what's going on? How you feeling? Good to see you. That's my word. Marvina Bigby, all up in the house. Was good. And okay. Stop dissing PS5. Ain't nobody dissing PS5. I play PS5 myself. I got 2 of them, but I had to pay for both of them. I paid for that shit. I would love it. You know what I mean? My chick would pay for my shit. You know what I mean? Then maybe I would be able to afford skins for my player on Call of Duty. I always got to use the ones that come. Cause I ain't paying for that shit. Maybe having Superman and Snoop Dogg and all that shit. What? I ain't paying for that shit. All right. Coot Mallory, FBA reparations. We with all of that. We gets down like that on this platform. Yes, FBA, Foundational Black Americans reparations. Let's get to that. Let's work on it. What am I wearing? I'm wearing my struggle beads, baby. Throwback Thursday. These are my struggle beads. You know you want to fuck with these shits. You know you fucks with these. Even if they look strange to you, you can't deny that they look fly. Okay, anyway. Tupac the Greek. Talking about some keep it down. I'm trying to sleep. Yeah, go to another channel, dickhead. Carla, 63. Carla. What up, Carla? How you feeling, ma? Good to see, me, some, you, for me. What's good? A regiment. Trump is in the house. Trump can suck a dick. Ah! A matter of fact, Trump sucks dick. Ah! That's for Trump. That's for Trump. Fuck out of here. Fuck Trump. Fuck MAGA. Fuck 45. Fuck 47. Fuck Kash Patel. Fuck Pam Bondi. Motherfuck JD Vance. Fuck Pete Hegseth. Fuck who's his lawyer? Fuck the DOJ. Fuck everything MAGA associated. And if you fucks with them, fuck you too. But thanks for coming to the show. And if you left the show, fuck you too. Okay. Appreciate you, Carla. I appreciate you. All right. So yeah. Laura Loomer. Yeah, well, fuck Laura Loomer. Fuck Pam. Oh, I said Pam Bondi, right? Fuck damn, what's the Homeland Security bitch? The one that was in Minnesota responsible for ICE. Now they had to ship her dumbass to the border. How can I fuck the one that kills dogs, the one that shot a dog when she was a governor? No good hoe. Fuck. Y'all got me. Listen, I don't disrespect women, but fuck them bitches. All right. Marshall, was it? Marshall Bell says, "What's going on, man? I like to check the show up." Check the show up? What that mean? That's right, Carla. Fuck all of them. All of them. Everything MAGA. As a matter of fact, you down with MAGA, get the fuck off of this channel. We don't need that bullshit. We don't need none of that bullshit. I believe in freedom and justice, not necessarily equality. I'm not sure if that's achievable, but I believe in freedom and justice. You know what I mean? Not killing American citizens. Talk about why you are so-called deporting supposed to be criminal illegal immigrants. You lying motherfuckers. Anyway, so the more expensive woman, the young woman, or the middle-aged woman. Which one is more expensive? Now, some of y'all gonna try to say both of them are expensive. We already know that. The question is, which one is more likely to be more expensive? I think it's the middle-aged woman, because the middle-aged woman has things. She got a house. She got a career. She got expectations. She done already raised kids. She may still be getting kids out of the house. She got teenagers getting out of the house, getting closer to graduation, out of the house, about to be out the nest, out of the house. Yo, tired of the bullshit, out of the house. Just ended a relationship, out of the house. That nigga wasn't worth shit, out of the house. He want to cheat, he don't want to get a job, out of the house. Now, a lot of times, just like the poll question asked, a lot of times when we think about young women, we think about these little baddies, these little bad bitches. But think about it. The majority of young women ain't bad bitches. And I don't mean that they're not good looking. I don't mean that at all. I mean that they're not bad bitches. Y'all know what I'm talking about, with all of the weave, with the long ass eyelashes, with the BBLs, with the breast implants, with the tummy tuck. You know, running around here acting like she got high self-esteem when she really don't. You know, wearing all the latest styles and fashions and all of that. You know what I mean? Talking with a lisp and a nasal voice. Yeah, I believe these niggas ain't shit. These niggas out here ain't shit and shit. You know, we going down south, because them niggas down south, they don't mind treating a bitch like she's supposed to be treated. These motherfuckers up north, they act like they don't want to pay for no pussy. They think pussy is free. The kids that come out of the pussy ain't free. Most young women aren't like that. They're not. Most young women are impressionable. They're learning. They want to be a part of something good, something that's ascending. You know what I mean? There are levels to this thing, and they trying to get to the higher level. They want to go to school. They want to get into a job and have a career. They want to build families and things like that. They're thinking along those lines. But we start thinking like, oh, these young bitches, all they want, you know what I mean? They want Gucci, they want Louis, they want red bottoms, it ain't like that. It ain't like that. And it's bad that the media, particularly social media, has us thinking about young women that way. But y'all may know some different things than I know. Y'all may know some different things than I know. So I'm welcoming y'all to talk on. Christy Nome, thank you. Yes, mother. Fuck Christy. Yeah, Christy Nome. That's who I was talking about. That's who I was. Thank you. Fuck Christy Nome. I can't stand her. I can't stand Pam Bondi. What's Trump's lawyer's name? The one that went to go see Ghislaine Maxwell and got her sent to that cushy little Fed prison. You know what I'm saying? Who ever heard of a sex offender getting a cushy prison? What's his name? Todd Blanche. That's his name. Todd. Fuck out of here. Pussy. Fuck Todd Blanche. Who was that? Oh shit. I think I might have broke part of my struggle bead. Well, we'll get to that later. Yeah, that Todd Blanche. That no. Y'all got me hype. Fuck Todd Blanche. Fuck Todd Blanche. Motherfuck Donald Trump. Fuck MAGA. Fuck all of them. All they do is hump. Oh, fuck motherfucker. Hey, fuck them. Fuck motherfucker. I can't stand them. Yo, let me reprimand them. We taking them to court. No, fuck taking them to court. Let's take them to the motherfucking fire range, bitch. All right, then let's move on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. For anybody that was offended by my recent actions and activities, and especially my demeanor, my attitude, and my energy, fuck out of here, you don't like that shit. But I do apologize for any who may have been following this platform for a long time and expect a higher level of professionalism and decorum. I respect that, and I respect you. But I'm gonna need you to tell these motherfuckers to stop fucking with me. All right. Oh man, Cardea says, yeah, with the extra long fingernails. How do they keep those nails clean? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. How did they keep the BBL from leaking? That's what I want to know. Yeah, Cardea, yeah, she shot a puppy in the face. I mean, who admits that? Who's proud of that? Who kills their dog? Because he wasn't potty. I mean, he wasn't adhering to some. I think because she couldn't train him. Some old crazy. It was like a reason that people made people look at her in horror. Like, you killed a dog? A dog? Man's best friend? You? Huh? That bitch ought to be stoned to death, yo. And let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Nah, fuck it. Even if you have sin, stone that hoe. Stone that hoe. I don't care what you got on your record. Stone her. Matter of fact, I got something. Yeah, this is what they haven't done publicly. A public, you just poke that bitch up. You know what I mean? Till you get an artery. Just get in there. I'm about to archery this bitch. Gut that hoe like a fish. Take out on a boat and dump her over. Put the hook in her mouth. we can call her the one that got away. Okay, I'm off of that. We good. I'm off of that. Carla said, son, are you kung fu fighting? Oh, man. All right, man. All right. What's that, Froggo? My God, may God be with you and lead you on the path of beauty and righteousness. I never heard people pray for you to be on a path of beauty and righteousness. You going to pray for me? Good. I'm going to pray for you back. Matter of fact, I'm going to pray for all of y'all. God, thank you for giving us the opportunity to live another day, and in giving us this opportunity, thank you for all the gifts of love and life you have given us. May we use those gifts of love and life to help our loved ones and those who are less. Let me do it right. God, thank you for allowing me to live another day, allowing us to live another day. Thank you for the life, love, the liberty, the justice, the guidance, the understanding that we are able to enjoy and bestow upon others the same that we are with ourselves. May you cover us and keep us protected from harm and sickness. May you allow us to live the dreams and help us to forget that nightmares are dreams also. Okay, we good. All right. Okay. I'm feeling all right now. I must admit, I was in a dark space. I know this is a well-lit space, but I was in a dark space emotionally today. but I feel like I'm coming up out of it. Yeah, yeah. So y'all ready to have this conversation? Because I am. Are y'all ready to have this conversation? Because I am. We are. I'm going to go get my seat from over here. We're talking about the more expensive woman, the young one or the middle-aged woman. Which one is more likely to run up the bill? Now, just because they run up the bill doesn't necessarily mean that you will go broke, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't be worth it. And it absolutely doesn't mean that they won't contribute to the cost. But one thing is for sure, once you build up a lifestyle, you probably are going to do whatever's necessary in order to maintain their lifestyle. And middle-aged women have lived long enough, been through, growing up with humble means, got themselves together, went to school, got a job, moved into a career, and they're used to things being at a certain level, especially if they have become parents where they've had to not only be responsible for themselves, but be responsible for another life or lives. Whereas a young woman may not have experienced that yet. Of course, there are plenty of young women who have. And it depends on how young we're talking about. So for all intents and purposes, we will set the bar for right now. Let's say age 25. Now, a lot of 25-year-old women already have a child. And a lot don't. But a 25-year-old woman is a grown woman, an adult woman, but she's not an experienced woman. Now, of course, some 25-year-old women are going to tell you, nah, I done seen it all, been through it all. 25-year-olds always think that they've seen everything and done everything. But the truth of the matter is they have probably only experienced a bunch of negativity. And they haven't seen what it's like to ascend to a place where they can label the little petty nuances of negativity as a memory. Whereas a middle-aged woman may have gotten to that point. Not all of them, of course. Of course, not all of them, because there are plenty of people, not just women, who don't figure life out until they figure life out. So I need y'all to do me one little favor, one teensy witsy itsy bitsy baby favor. I just need y'all to hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Hit the like button. That's all I need for you to do. That's all I ask of you. Please hit the like button so we can get this channel recognized for the quality that I think that it is. And hopefully you believe the same. Hopefully you believe the same. All right. All right, Cardine says, but to answer your question, my wife has always been expensive. When I was young, I had to hustle, but I love her. So I'm giving spirit to those who are close to me. And I applaud that. As a matter of fact, hold on. Don't let me be the only one to applaud that. Let me hold on. There you go. I knew we could have better applause than that. As a matter of fact, wait. It always raises my eyebrows and honestly makes me a little concerned and sometimes a little sad that so many men these days have made it to middle age and they don't appreciate the things that a woman can do. And I don't know how you can make it through life without seeing that. But your emotions tell you a whole lot of things that aren't true. But we can get into that. We can get into that intermittently. For right now, I just want to know what y'all think. Who are or who is the most or the more expensive woman? The young woman or the middle-aged woman? Now we can break it on down. I wish we was on like Microsoft Teams where I could share my screen and we could do some graphs. You know, we could do some graphs and maybe use some slides so we could kind of break down the difference in what a young woman may be into or interested in versus what an older woman, or should I say a middle-aged woman, might be interested in. I think both of them may be down to travel. But from what I see, honestly, middle-aged women want to travel more. Because many of them have worked their whole lives and now they ready to spread their wings. You know, they want to go. They want to see what different parts of the world are like. They've watched it on the internet and things like that. They have friends who have traveled abroad, traveled to the Caribbean, traveled to Africa. You know, I mean, you know, they ready to go. And they got the money. They got the money. A lot of times, younger women, they're down to go, but they might not really understand how much things cost. When I was a young man and I was traveling way more than I do now, it was expensive. And we didn't always understand how expensive it was. You know, I went to London. I went to London in 1999. I think I only took about, how much money did I take with me? Maybe $1,000. And I was there for like 5 or 6 days. It was like 1,000. That should be enough. Was it really? In 1999, it kind of was. But we had to watch the budget because it's expensive over there. And, you know, the dollar exchange, everything that was $1 for us was $2 for them. All right. Carla says, back in the day, we weren't about nails done, hair done, electronics, fancy cars, etc. We're in different times now. I don't know. Y'all were about hair and nails because that started going down in the crack era. In the 80s, that's when I started seeing all this nails done, hair done shit. Now, it wasn't necessarily weaves and shit in the 80s, but they would start, because we were still calling weaves extensions. But it was definitely getting there. By the 90s, it was hair and nails. Yeah, and the expensive electronics, that wasn't there yet. We were still working with beepers and, you know, mobile phones that had a whole suitcase with them and shit like that, or the big gray joint. So, and not a lot of people had that. Carbadine says, thank you, sir. 30 years hasn't always been easy, but it's been worth it. I can dig it. My brother Time is in the house. What up, Time? What's good? He says, all women, son. If we talking about 80s women compared to 2026 women, navigate the 2026 modern women, all women, think about a shopping and money. Let's be honest. No, not all women. Listen, that's like saying that these kids these days don't go to school. You may see a lot of kids that are supposed to be in school out of school, but you'll see a whole lot more kids in school if you were in school, but we're not in school. So I mean, I can't let social media and the media in general dictate what these young women want. I mean, because a lot of these young girls are in school. You know what I mean? Like, you get a different perspective of young women when you're in college than when you're on the street. You know? So that has shaped my view of them because I went to college. So the young women that I knew were all going to school. So they were trying to be something, and they were trying to be with somebody that was trying to be with somebody. I mean, they were trying to be with somebody that was trying to be something as well. Not to say that just because they went to college, they, married or had children or hooked up with somebody that was in college. But one thing about going to school is how things are supposed to be versus just out here scrambling. Time also says now, when you had Big Mama that was going to church every day and only had 2 wigs and she only wore those 2 wigs for the Lord, they were about men with character, not money. I don't know, man. I don't know. You are absolutely right. Black women, what is it? Doing their own hair when they had rollers in their hair and that iron comb they used to put on the gas stove next to the Crisco. Yo, you be talking like a meme sometimes. But I understand. But yeah, not all young women are going to be in your pockets. Not all young women are asking for things all the time. A lot of younger women really just are looking for love. And if you can provide that for them, they'll do anything for you. And I know about that. I ain't done no tricking in my life. I ain't never been that dude. I've never been that dude that had to pay like I weigh. I was like, there got to be another way. I grew up in a time when you could get women just because you could dance, just because you could skate, just because you could play sports, just because you dress nice, just because you had a nice haircut. Literally, somebody was some fish chips, some fishy chick was going to bite on your line. Well. What if we're here? My man, my mellow. Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the new West Side. That's the new West Side. Yeah.
What's going on at one of them Kyle Try?
The one of them Kyle in the building. Roger Carter, the one of them Carl Troy is on the line.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Just give me the line. Yeah.
How you feeling?
Like a real man should. How you feeling?
I like that. You know what I mean? I've been known to feel like a real man should as well. Thanks for asking.
Hey, you asked. I asked you, and you told me the same thing. I feel like the real thing too,
You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna work it out.
I'm just trying to tell you because I used to walk in a hurry. I love my chicken with a goat named Curry.
Really now?
What you say?
I said, really now? Okay.
Yeah, because them don't worry me. Them don't worry me.
All right, so what we talking about?
Yeah, because but back in the day, girls, the reason why I like the back in the day girls from our generation, they had a craving, when they had a craving for fashion and a craving for saving, they just took the wheel of the automobile and headed down the Ideal.
Some did. They absolutely did. Some absolutely took advantage of that.
You know what I mean? When you had a passion for fashion,
yeah,
a craving for saving, take the wheel of the automobile is swing on down to Ideal.
So which one is more expensive? The young woman or the middle-aged woman?
Well, I think the middle-aged woman is more expensive. You
Okay.
know, middle-aged woman is more expensive because there's more responsibility with them. I don't think when you jump into a relationship with them, some of them are already established and mentally already know what they want in a man. Whereas though these young girls, they like just playing games and you can get them something from Fashion Nova and they okay. You can go on Temu and get them a coat. Be like, this is nice. Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
These but the middle aged woman, they pretty much had maybe 2, 3 children, or was married and got separated, or something that happened where as though they moved on. So they have a established thought on what type of man they want. You know.
You know, like I was talking about earlier in the show, like a lot of times when we think of young women, our minds go straight to, these little baddies, these little bad bitches and all of that. And we know that they've been known to run up the run up the check on certain things. But
yeah, most definitely.
But we can't think like that like that all the time because they don't represent the majority of young women out here. You know what I mean? So, once we get away from the social media, like Justine Illusion, she said, I think the internet can give a false sense of reality at times, or maybe I just avoid superficial circles and people. And she's right, because the internet does have us thinking that these young chicks want money all the time, and they want pounds of weed all the time, and that that like they just out here freestyling and asking for everything. And that's not my experience with when I was young. That wasn't my experience. And you can't we can say the times changed, but we can't say the money has changed, because we grew up in an era where, cats was getting real money.
Well, I mean, today's world, there's a lot more protrudeness out there now. A lot of things protrude out differently at the top and at the bottom. You know what I mean? It's like the milk was getting milkier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But nonetheless, whatever cost what it did back then cost what it does right now. So whether we were spending money on I don't know, Nintendos and Segas back then, and we're spending money on PlayStations and Xboxes now, I mean, the game is not that much different. And I'm not sure the attitudes are that much different either. But we have to deal with what we have to deal with. We are where we are in this game. So I'm saying all of that to say this. I was talking earlier about how I think middle-aged women are more expensive too, but that's because many of them have gone to school, have gotten degrees, advanced degrees. Many of them have gone through being single parents or co-parents or married once or twice. They done bought homes. They've learned how to take care of themselves. So, they're not really looking for somebody that's trying to take away, but rather somebody that's trying to add to. And that doesn't necessarily, when I say add to, I don't necessarily mean that they trying to milk somebody, but they want to be with somebody who has something, or is going for something, or is worth something, which I don't think is an unrealistic expectation. But a young girl will have a baby or two or three by a bum ass nigga.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker working on his mixtape.
Yeah.
Not his album, his mixtape.
Yeah. He be working on that mixtape for 10 years.
I'm just saying. She'll move somebody in that she just met at the club. I ain't saying they ain't desperate old, middle-aged women, because they are. Desperation comes at every age. But if we're talking about the likelihood and the majority of one or the other that has the potential to be more expensive, I would have to say the middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
She got bills. Yeah. If she ain't got shit at 45, at age 40 to 60, she got bills. Now she might have retirement too. She might have 401k that she can borrow from too. But she ain't just going to keep borrowing it for you. She expect you to have the same thing.
Some middle-aged women remind me of the group Onyx when he said it was mine is mine and yours is mine, and some of them remind me of that. Middle-aged women, we in the relationship, yours is, whatever I got is mine. Now, whatever you got, I think that's part of mine too.
Well, everybody has their own story to tell.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, a middle-aged woman, I expect a middle-aged woman to have assets. I don't expect a middle-aged woman to be able to just, let's say she's moving from one place to another. I don't expect her to be able to make that move easily because she's probably accumulated shit over the years. Furniture, things that you just can't put in trash bags or suitcases. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where a young woman, she may not have built all of that stuff yet. Or she might rent some shit from Rent-A-Center and then move that shit. Or she might just be rocking out with the futon or the airbed. You know what I mean? So, and nothing that I'm saying is representative of all of them. But I'm just saying the likelihood that a young woman is going to overall cost more than a middle-aged woman, for me, I just don't think that is as likely.
Yeah, like I'm not going to say that young women don't have their shit together or
Wait, hold on. We got another. Hold on. We got a call. All right, hold on, Kim. No, we're here. It ain't gonna let me do it. Why did it let me do it last night, but it ain't gonna let me do it now? Why?
Here we go.
Well, hold on. Let me try. I gotta try. What could happen? All right, hold on. Let me try it. All right. Okay. All right, hold on. I know what I gotta do, and I had done it earlier today. But fuck it, it gotta go. All right. Oh shit! I know why. This shit got a fucking update. All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to put you on speaker for right now, Troy. And let me see. I should be able to call Kim now. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. All right. We good. Y'all there? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Can y'all hear me? I bet y'all can hear each other, but y'all can't hear me. How? Oh, wait a minute. I know what's wrong. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Are we there? Can y'all hear me? No, wait. See, this is a fucking pain in the ass. It really is. All right, hold on. Oh, gosh.
Hello?
All right, we good? All right. God damn.
Mommy and Poppy.
What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
2 nights straight? God damn, so what's wrong?
Shut the hell up. Shut up already.
I mean, that's the Indiana aggressiveness. That's aggressive Indiana, short, petite people. I mean, that high yellow.
Anyway, what's up, chat? What's up, family? What's up, other people?
Other people, though.
Other people,
I agree with the bullshit already. I just got to it.
All right, look. All right, fuck all the niceties. We gotta get into this shit. Okay. So we're talking about what woman is more expensive, the middle-aged woman or the young woman? What's your opinion on that, Kim?
I'm going to agree with middle-aged as a middle-aged woman.
Okay. What is this? What was there a time where you would have said the younger woman?
Yeah, when I was younger.
Okay. Why would you have said a younger woman when you were younger?
Because I thought I needed to have all of these useless things when I was younger. And, if you like movie going, when I was younger, I thought, going to Ruth Chris was the thing to do. So if you like me, then, hey, let's go there to eat.
Okay. Well, let's say even if that was your choice now, would that still, because young women like shit, and middle-aged women like shit too, but there's a difference in what the expectation may be.
Well, I think too also, as a middle-aged woman, there's a balance. It's not just, hey, give me. And I'm not saying I was a give me person when I was younger, but it definitely was a difference. There's more of a balance now. There's more logical thinking now. Now, does the price tag get a little different? Of course. My desire for entertainment is different, although it's subtle. Still, I enjoy some simplicity. My idea of entertainment is different than when I was younger. Although at that time it seemed like it was, more expensive. And I guess in the beginning it would look like it. However, it wasn't. In hindsight, it wasn't. As I look back over it now, it wasn't. But as a grown woman, You stuff for middle-aged women. Yeah, there are some things like I want to go to Sedona. That is my thing. And when I go to Sedona, I don't want to go to Sedona and shop. I want to go to Sedona and do all the fun things, all the real things, all the mature, adult, grown people things. That comes with the price tag. But there's a balance also. Because as a grown middle-aged woman, now we're going to share in some of this. I don't expect you to carry the load all the time. There are going to be moments when I want to go do this and I want you to go with me. I gotta. It's that kind of thing. Whereas when I was younger, not so much. But does it change the price tag? That means the price tag does come a little more. You can't just take me to Ruth Chris, although I'm a cheapie. I don't like that. You can't just take me to Ruth Chris now and think that is going to be the end all be all and I'm good with it. No, I want to do some grown people stuff, and grown people stuff comes with grown people money.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe there is a little bit more of a price tag to mature women.
Yeah, I think the younger back when we was coming up, the young women back in the day, they were more keeping up with the Joneses. You had the videos that was coming on. You seen Salt Pepper with their hair smacked to the side and the bamboo earrings, and LL talking about the stitches in your hair, bamboo earrings, at least 3 pair, and then so you start wanting to keep up with the Joneses, and the guys that was going after them, they knew that's what they needed. They made some girls the Reebok Vandals, and then turned them into Chanel sandals.
But were they representative of the majority of young women?
Well, in our generation, it was somewhat representative like that. This generation that's coming up now, this younger generation, I think they pretty much learned that you don't have to spend a lot of money to look good. I mean, I think they have an understanding that if you already a beautiful woman, you can dress down to dress up. Whereas though back in our generation when we was growing up, they didn't know that shit had to be the shit. And I think the middle-aged woman now understands somewhat of what the younger generation does. There wasn't a lot of rainbows and a lot of stores like that back in the day where our generation go shop. But no, you had to go in Philly. You had to go to City Blue. Or you had to
I think you misunderstand. I think you might have it a little wrong. Middle-aged women dress for comfort.
It depends on the middle-aged woman. And it depends on the age of the middle-aged woman. All middle-aged women ain't the same age.
I'm talking about our generation coming up as young ladies.
So middle age starts at 50. And the majority of 50-year-old women dress for comfort. Now, I'm not saying they dress like bums.
What you think you say middle-aged women. Wait. You say middle age starts at 50? I say it started at 40.
40-ish.
What do you say, Troy?
Between 40, 45. I agree.
Okay.
We can take it to 40, 45.
All right.
But it's still somewhat near our generation. So, I mean, I've never seen our generation, majority of the generation we grew up with, here in Philly, they was wearing them, and then you had the clothes was more better than it is today. You had the Gap. You can go to the Gap and get a nice outfit, and you had other stores you can go out there and look fresh to death with and spend that type of money. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Everybody couldn't be Sun 75 too and work at City Blue.
Listen, you got to stop talking like everybody in here is from Philly. They don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Well, I'm trying to bring it to them. Like, I know in Indiana, y'all had a store that y'all went to that sold all that stuff. It might not have been called. Yeah, y'all
We
still
do. We got City Trends and places like that.
Your trends might have started out there in areas where y'all at, and then came to the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's not that you're correct. A lot of young people go to those shops. But and there's some middle-aged women that go in there and find some deals or some things they want to wear. But average, at least in my circle, we shop at department, boutique.
Hold on, yeah. Oh, where's the sound? Motherfucker. Hold on. Hold on. Hello? Oh, okay.
Because sometimes,
Okay.
when they
stuff, that's when you know how much, you go out there and spend it on your woman. It's not always a holiday. You might just go out and say, I'm going to buy something. I seen something, let me pick it up.
Well, and keep in mind, things, as we mature, what we like, I'm going to speak for me, because I can't speak for everybody else. I think it's a case-by-case kind of situation, but for me. So my taste in what I like changes. My taste in how I live changes. My taste in what I use changes. So, for example, you can't just go get me Bath and Body Works and think, oh, I think that's a great gift. It's not going to go well. Because what I use for my skin is different. I care for my skin different than I did when I was in my 20s. I mean, in my 20s, I was okay with it, but I'm more concentrated on it now that I'm 50 plus. So I'm shopping at Urban Eden. That means a bar of soap alone is $12 for one bar of soap.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just go get me Bath and Body Works. I want Dr.
How much is the bar of soap? How much is the bar of soap?
$12.
Okay.
I like Dr. Bronner's. That's what, $24 for a big, I forgot what the ounces on it, but body wash of it. So I'm just saying it's just a little different. So it does look like the price tag might be larger because we like different things and how we care for ourselves is different. It's just not going to be the same. Hair care is different. The products I use are definitely not the same products I used when I was in my 20s. And like I said, for me, I'm going to dress for comfort. So I need all the things to go with me that are comfortable.
And that's
All right.
And that's why I think all three of us agree that the middle-aged woman is
But
more expensive woman.
yeah, but I think I don't think that we're thinking. I think we're thinking from a certain perspective. Like you over here quoting rap songs and all of that kind of shit, and the women or the girls that they talking about in songs are not representative of the women that are out here in the streets. So I don't even think like that when I think about the landscape of women, young or middle age. I'm thinking about real life. I'm thinking about the women that I see at my job, at jobs that I work. I'm thinking about women that I would see when I went out, when I went to, when I socialized, when I went to parties, get-togethers, clubs, organizations, jobs, whatever, school. I'm thinking along those lines. So nothing that I'm hearing is representative of that. So, I've known women who was on their way to being successful, and I've known, plenty of that was just kind of coasting, sort of waiting to see if something was going to happen. People come into their own at different times. That's why when I think of a young woman, I'm not thinking about handbags and trips to Costa Rica and all of that shit, because that's not the average woman that's out here. That's not the majority. That's not where their heads are. I'm thinking about, when I think of a young woman, I'm thinking about probably around between age 25 and 30. I'm going to say between age 25 and 35. And more than likely, they have a child or two. You know, more than likely they work at a job where they probably making about somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000. It's possible that they may only be making $35,000 or something like that. But whatever they are, they're probably trying to supplement their income in some kind of way. I'm not thinking about the chicks that I see on the street. I'm not thinking about getting your hair and nails done and all that kind of shit. That's not my experience. And I've known a lot of women. Now I've known a lot of the women that y'all talking about, but or that rappers talk about and all that, but they're not the majority. They're not. They are, I would say that they're probably about 3%. Now, I mean, if you talking about just having a weave in your hair, of course, the percentage grows. But the attitude of or the mentality of the weave is not as representative as the media might have you believing. You know what I mean? It's just like they give a false representation of how relationships go out here. They have you thinking that they just have you thinking out here thinking a whole bunch of bullshit, because they take one little example and they make it the extreme example, and you know what I'm saying, and it just takes you somewhere, and then we start believing that it's like that everywhere. No, the fuck it's not. It's not even like that in your own home. You making it like that. So when we really
speaking from a rap perspective, I missed that. Who was talking about somebody from a rap perspective?
Well, Troy was quoting rap records. He quoted.
Wow.
What I'm saying is that, in the neighborhood where I grew up, in that place where I was hanging out at, the people, the young girls I was hanging around, and from our generation, or from my generation, which is pretty much our same generation.
We're definitely the same generation.
Rob next.
I'm not saying that, like, LL, when LL made a Roundaway Girl, I'm not saying that he wasn't being truthful. What I'm saying was that wasn't every girl. Every girl, I knew girls who wore gold earrings, and I knew plenty who didn't. But guess what? Most didn't. Some did, and they stood out. Most of them didn't do that shit. Every chick didn't have big bamboo earrings with the name in them. They didn't. The ones who had it, and they stood out. So I can't speak about them like they were the majority, because they weren't. They were the minority. The most of the chicks I knew went to college. They was worried about student loans and passing their classes, and you know what I'm saying? Trying to get somewhere in life. That's my experience. And of course, that's not the majority either. But like the media will have you thinking that it's like this around the way. Shit, the same way that Lisa, Pamela, Angela, Renee lived around the way. Well, yeah. And sometimes Lisa, Angela, Pamela, and Renee was going to the local college or went down south. You know what I'm saying? Or was working, or just had a baby, a 2-year-old or something like that, and was trying to move up in her job, so she could maintain. But when we talk about what woman is more expensive, I'm not gonna go straight to the bad bitch that's demanding that if he wants some of this, he got to do this and he got to do that, because that's not the majority. Just like a middle-aged woman who is making six figures and can take care of herself, and she want a man, don't need a man, is not the majority either. So when we start thinking realistically about the demographic of each one that we're talking about, whether the younger one or the middle-aged one, what are we really seeing? All you have to do is think about the people you know. Now, most middle-aged women that I know have been married before, once or twice. Some are in their second marriage right now. So when a woman has been married before, she has certain expectations if she wants to get married again, or if somebody wants to marry her again. It ain't going to go down like the first one. That was the test run. She's expecting something real out of this second one. So when a man approaches her, he needs to be serious, because she done already played the games. So she's probably going to size him up, even if she don't want to. She's probably going to have to take a long look at what is this nigga bringing to the table? What is he doing? Like, is he working? Is he trying to, how close to retirement is he? Is he in good health? You know what I mean? Like, is he taking care of himself? Is he drinking a lot? Is he smoking a lot? Is he running around here still trying to fuck everything, moving in a skirt? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he willing and or able to jump in and contribute? He ain't got to pay for everything, but he should be able to pay for something, even if I don't require him to pay it. It still goes on the bill. The tab is what it is. These young chicks will move a bum nigga in the crib and let him babysit until she get tired of him. I don't see no middle-aged woman doing no shit like that. I don't see it happening. So I'm just saying, I'm looking at this thing from a certain perspective. The middle-aged woman probably already got something. She's had to. She has more years in. There's more at stake. She's closer to the finish line than this young girl who has at least a good 15 to 20 years to get her shit together and make these costly mistakes that she can probably recover from. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just look at the net worth of a middle-aged woman versus the net worth of a young girl. I mean, we can look at it from that perspective. A lot of times we probably don't even like to think about our net worth. Like, how much is our net worth right now? Because the net worth that shit is not just for rich people. You have a net worth right now, and you can increase that, or you can build. You can be satisfied for where it is or what it is. So yeah, I think that even though we may all agree that the middle-aged woman may be more expensive, I think we may agree for different reasons. And I just want to make sure that we understand exactly what we're talking about. All right, I'm done.
Well, I just think that it's more of a priority for middle-aged women than the young women. I think they prioritize things today, for middle-aged women do than they did when they were younger. I mean, like I had to, when I went to college, I had I had the majority and I had the minorities, because the minority was the one that was focused on the books, and the majority was the one that was going out to the clubs while they were still focused on books. So, I've seen both parts of it, and when I used to hang out a hell of a lot, and so when I'm speaking off of my experiences about being around the young girls that turned into middle-aged women, I speak off the experience of what I've seen. And majority of the people I hung around, and the majority of the girls and women I seen, young girls I seen back in my day, was wearing all that shit. It's very rare that I walk by a young girl that I walk by that didn't have, if it wasn't no big bamboos, the small bamboos, or some type of figure eight, something that they wanted to put some type of status on themselves. So I mean, and then as time goes on, you start maturing and you start understanding. I don't really need that shit. I can go to the hair store and buy me some earrings while I'm getting me some hair, getting stuff to do my hair. You know what I'm saying? The priorities don't change, and you realize I don't have to spend all this amount of money to look good. The money I spend on one outfit back when I was a young girl, I can spend money on that same outfit and buy 5 outfits.
Yeah, but we're asking about how much it's going to cost to a man, not how much not how much they cost to themselves. So, like,
and it also has something to do about wouldn't you say it also has something to do with the man too, that makes the woman more expensive? So that man, when he comes to that woman's in a relationship with her, he's trying to show and prove what type of man he is.
By doing what?
By making sure that he's showing that he can be a good provider. When you court a woman, you taking her to the restaurant that you feel as though that she would like to go to. You can take her to a Ruth Chris. You can take her to a Del Frisco. You ain't gonna take her to no Red Lobster like back in the day. You're gonna change it. You're gonna switch the picture. You're gonna go to something that's more into a middle-aged woman restaurant now, opposed to something you would go to back when you was a young person.
Well, Red Lobster was a decent restaurant back in our days.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, I understand what you're saying. But taking a woman out is not showing a woman that you can provide for her. There's a difference between what you can buy and what you can provide.
When you court, but taking that you can provide for her, meaning you're gonna show her that you're willing to spoil her. You're gonna show her, you're gonna buy her things. You're gonna show her that if she don't have what she needs, you're gonna try to give it to her and say, "I got you." You know what I'm saying? Whereas back in the day, a woman might want the new shoes or the new Gucci pocketbook. These days, they like, "No, I need my bills paid. No, I need that bill paid now."
See,
the middle-aged woman is like that.
I'm glad you said that, Troy, because this is what I'm talking about. It's two different perspectives. I have never met a chick and was like, "Yo, I need to spend some money on her." And I mean, ever, not one motherfucking time.
You never took a chick out?
Of course. But that's when I take you out, I'm getting something out of that too. What I'm saying is I have never led with the money. And it sure wasn't because I ain't have none. But I always knew what kind of rabbit hole that was. Because once you start off like that, you got to continue like that because you done already set that bar. So I was never the type that started buying gifts and all of that shit before I really got to know you. I never did that. I never did that. I always drove something nice. I never used the car to get a chick ever. Never did that. Never rolled up on them like, "Yo, I never did that because I knew the science on it. I knew the science. Once you play that way, you got to keep playing that way. So I didn't do it. But I also didn't deal with women that was impressed by that shit either. I mean, call it a blessing, I don't know. I'm not sure what you would call it. But I never fucked around with a chick that was trying to, be on that gold digger shit and all that. I mean, I came across a few, but it went nowhere because I'm not. You guys see Terry and them for that. That's not what we doing over here. It's not. Maybe I thought I was too cute. There's a good chance I did. I was like, that shit is gonna have to work. You know what I mean? Because now it's not that I didn't do nothing for him after after I really started to like him and get to know him. But that's what had to happen. That wasn't how I was gonna get you. It might have just been how things started to progress as we went along. And I didn't play that. I didn't play like that. I really didn't. I'm like, I gotta let these tricking niggas do that shit. I didn't do it like that. But of course, we always went out. I mean, because I like to go out. I like to go out to eat. I like to go out and do activities. More so when I was younger. Now I'm a homebody like a motherfucker. But back then, when I was active. So yeah, of course, my first thing was always go to the movies, go to dinner, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. And I always like to eat good. So that was never a problem. But yeah, as far as, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I want to see her in this. And so I'm going to go over to Macy's or I'm going to go to Bloomingdale's or whatever and pick her up this and blah, blah, blah. I didn't do that. I didn't, unless you was already really my woman and I already knew that we was established of it, but I didn't lead off that way. So of course my perspective is going to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Than a lot of men's were. But I didn't have to do that. But I knew a lot of people, still do. And I met a lot of people because I used to travel. I used to, I went places. And I just know these young girls, a lot of them, they would make some dudes pay and some dudes got a pass. So I'm looking at the ones that got a pass. And a young woman will let a dude get a pass. All right, let's put it this way. The young woman who has now become the middle-aged woman, she may have let that dude get a pass back in the day. Had a baby or two by him. He didn't pay support. He didn't contribute or whatever. She had to pay for them kids by herself. By the time she's a middle-aged woman, she ain't letting nobody get away with that shit. Like, nah, I already did that. I took care of my bum and the products of my bum. You know what I mean? I already did that for 20, 21 years. I don't want no parts of that. So you come up in here, you got to be established. I'm not sure young women are looking for a young man to be established yet. Not in the same way. I mean, niggas used to be able to get over. Let me throw back Thursday, right? Niggas used to be able to get over if if you had a decent job. That was equivalent to being a drug dealer.
Shit, well,
Gucci sneaks are Gucci sneaks. You either can buy them or you can't.
Look, bro, I had a boy. This boy was like a brother to me. He worked his ass off. He worked his ass off so much that when he hung around the bulls that was out there getting the street pharmaceuticals on, they thought he was part of it. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, back in the day, a good job was equivalent. Remember that company, Roman Highs?
Yeah.
If you worked at Roman Highs, you was getting money.
Yeah.
And I knew a bunch of students that was working at Roman highs because they was students at Drexel. And you know, if you went to Drexel, you was getting money because they had that co-op program. I was like, damn, everybody that go to Drexel get paid. It ain't even near graduation. Here we are going to school for nothing. At Drexel, you was going to school, you was getting paid already. It was like going to a trade school.
Yeah.
My boy worked at Roman highs. He was already whipping a coupe. He was a fucking sophomore. I was like, huh?
Boy, I'm talking about.
Shit.
He had a 5.0.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
All that shit, man.
Yeah. So that, you know, it.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, the thing about it is that shit, he inspired me to want to look good. He inspired me to work my ass off. You know, because he was my own head. He was like, look, you look good, you feel good. You better work at. And at that time, I think I had 2 or 3 children at the time, so I really was working. I was like working like 4 or 5 jobs. Some part time, three full time, and 2 part time. You know what I mean? So because if I wanted to make them, as long as I always went off the philosophy of that I can't look good. I don't want to look better than my children. So if I'm going to look better, if I'm going to be on the same level as them, I got to work my ass off. I want them to look better than me.
Man, some kids can't dress.
No, yeah, I'm talking about when as they get older, as they start dressing.
Yeah, Troy, some kids, I ain't bullshitting. Some kids can't dress and they won't let you make them fly. You know what I'm saying? You're like, what is this bullshit? I'm trying to throw that shit on you. They like, nah. I'm like, nah. That cheap ass Abercrombie and Fitch shit. Fuck out of here. Like, all right, look, you can get that, but you need to wear some. You need to wear some. Your generation is bums.
That takes me out. My oldest son, every time we would talk, or he would get a little frustrated. He would get upset about something. He'll throw on my face. Y'all was throwing that U.S. Polo stuff on me while I was going to school, while everybody else was wearing polo. I said, yo, you was wearing U.S. Polo uniforms. But when you was home, you was wearing regular polo. But at the end of the day, what you worrying about? What you got on your back? You got what you have on your feet?
What I think is interesting is he said everybody else. Like it wasn't no bums. It wasn't no bums or regular run-of-the-mill kids at his
school. They changed it. They changed it to uniforms because there was a lot of kids that couldn't buy.
That couldn't keep up. Yeah, facts. Right. Facts.
That's why they changed it to school uniforms. You know that. I
remember that well. I remember disagreeing with it, but still seeing the logic in it. Like, yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, man. I mean, this shit was crazy, man. My whole time, like I was in
shit.
It just takes me out because, like I said, it's always as we get older, it's always good to see the growth, not just in the young women, but in us as young men, how we mature to do things differently. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's, I'm like, back in the day, I didn't get too shit. As long as my footwear was comfortable, as long as my footwear was this shit, I had the Mega Designs and I had the Alpinas, I had the Cazelles, I had all that shit. I worked my ass off to get that shit. Had the herringbone chains and all that. But at the end of the day, I worked my ass off to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I don't need to give me a nice watch. Not no diamonds, not no bust down watch. I'm talking about a nice watch.
But see, that's the difference. That's the difference. See, now you done had all of that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? You done had all of that shit. So you're not impressed. You might not be impressed with trinkets or the way people, I mean, you still like the way people dress and you might still like to dress yourself. but that you realize that, you know, anybody can put some shit together for real. You know what I mean? You know, that's about your creativity. When you young, you thinking that no, I mean, it might. I'm not saying that everybody was into labels, but it was an easy way to figure out what was fly, what wasn't. The labels, you know what I'm saying? Whereas now, shit, you know, I don't give a fuck about the label. I mean, I still buy that shit, but I don't look at it the same way. You know what I mean?
Back in the day, we looked at it differently.
Yeah, we looked at it like young people because that's what we were. That was the straw that stirred the drink. Then, like now, I'm like on some real. I could understand why a middle-aged woman be like, "Nigga, what's your house look like?"
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What that credit score looking like?
What your credit score? Yeah.
What is that retirement looking like? That's because you got more years behind you than in front of you. So you're not trying to make those years that those leftover years that are in front of you. You're not trying to have them. You know, you don't want those to be struggle years. So you may expect somebody to have stepped it up a bit. You know what I mean? Right. Instead of, you know, you just out here. Fuck is you out here doing? You know? So I'm not saying that a middle-aged woman would require you to be rich or pay everything. There's a difference between expecting somebody to have something and expecting somebody to do something.
Oh, dang, now you preaching. Go ahead.
Shit, I mean, this the easy math. For an adult, yeah. When you're younger, you may be expecting somebody to do something and have something, you know what I'm saying? But your priorities might be all fucked up as to which one should come first. But like I said, them young girls will let a bum nigga stay up in her crib, playing the PlayStation all day. You know what I mean? Smoking weed all day. You know, taking care of the baby that he can't pay for.
And them middle-aged women, they'll tell you right to your face, I don't need no babysitter, nor do I need a housekeeper.
So why would they have little kids that age that they would require a babysitter?
Yeah.
Well, you might have had a baby at 35 and now you 45.
Yeah. Still playing.
Somebody got to watch him. He ain't ready to make it on his own yet.
I mean, not yet. Shit. Yeah, man. I mean, I agree. It's a great topic. I agree with a lot of stuff, man. You know. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think music and the entertainment business controls a lot of how young girls act and how young girls conduct themselves or how middle-aged women conduct themselves?
Of course it does.
I don't think middle-aged women look toward these things like a young woman would.
If we are talking about social media, you'll get a false positive on a lot of things. You know what I mean? Because I see a lot of middle-aged women making these fucking TikTok videos and, you know what I mean, Instagram videos and all this old crazy shit. And many of them you could say is trying to be young, you know. But yeah, there's definitely an influence. The answer is yes. Now, is it an influence?
The answer is no.
The answer is yes. There's a for you personally,
no,
yes.
But I don't see that. I don't see what you see. My algorithm is not picking up a bunch of middle-aged women who are following a trend with a bunch of young women.
Yeah, well, mine is, and on different platforms. So Yeah.
I see them following them, and I see them reacting to them. I even see them. I mean, you can see, like, when you see a middle-aged woman getting a tattoo. I'm like, what the fuck? Do you realize you ain't that far from that tattoo shriveling up? So I mean, I'm always I'm looking at them and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be forever young. But
do you think that's the only reason why a middle-aged woman would be getting a tattoo is to try to be forever young?
Yeah, I don't think the tattoo was the best example.
Well, what I'm saying is that when you're a middle-aged woman, there's the least of your. Why would you want to get a tattoo at 50?
Some get it for symbolic reasons.
Well, I've seen,
especially at that age.
So I don't think that you should, like, if you get a butterfly or an apple, I can see you getting your mom name or father name. It might be deceased, or your children's name or something like that. Something symbolic. But when it's not symbolic and you just getting a regular tattoo, why? It's just my opinion.
That's a choice. So, but hold on, Kim. Hold on, Kim. So in your algorithm, you didn't see none of those videos where women are dancing and they saying I told them I would I don't know, pay for his Fortnite if he was my backup dancer. You ain't had none of those videos on your algorithm?
I see them doing that with their children, but not a man.
What I'm not talking about with a man. I mean, you say I thought we were talking about middle-aged women following trends the same way that young people would on social media, and whether it was the influence.
What you said is, who's more influenced, middle-aged women or young women, by social media? And Troy asked, are middle-aged women or younger women more influenced by social media and music?
Wait, is that what he asked? Wait, Troy, is that what you asked?
I said, yeah, that's what I asked.
Wait, I didn't. Oh, my bad, because I didn't know that you asked. I thought you were asking, are any women influenced by social media?
No, I said middle-aged women or young women.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Then yes, it's both. It's both. But if you said more, I would say, yeah, I would have to say. I'm going to say this is more young women that are influenced by social media, but the amount of middle-aged women that are influenced by it too is disturbing. I know.
Define influenced by.
I know a woman right now that cannot hold down. Now, this woman is at least a year older than me. She cannot have a conversation that does not include social media lingo or stories. She cannot hold a conversation that does not involve shit that you would hear on the internet. She'll say shit like,
the majority of women know?
No.
No.
I don't know the majority of women, but if you're asking about the majority,
the majority of women that you know.
No, she doesn't represent the majority of women I know. Why would she?
Okay.
But if we're asking, if I'm answering the question about which one is influenced more, I said it was young women. I said, but the amount of middle-aged women that are influenced by social media is disturbing. And it is. Even if I'm talking about the ones that I know. But there are some in particular, and male and female. Like I have a male friend too. And he is deep into this social media shit. Everything he do is pretty much centered around that. So yes, I would gamble to say that young people are more influence, but they were born into this. What's the middle-aged people? What's their excuse?
Mm-hmm.
For the young people, this is their future. They were literally born into this, and this is how they communicate. This is how they present themselves. You 50 years old. What's your excuse? So, like I said, the middle-aged women that I know that are influenced by social media is disturbing. Now you have your algorithm, I got mine. And mine, I don't follow no young people at all. Everybody, I don't follow nobody that's less than a millennial. Ain't no I won't even accept friend requests or follow requests from nobody Gen Alpha or Gen Z. Like, no. Even in my family, they send me friend requests. That shit sit right in the pending. Like, we don't get down like that. You my blood. You can call me. We ain't gotta be friends on social media for what? This show is labeled.
A lot of young people.
Well, that's that.
But they're a different group of young people. They're not them. These are not the ones in your face doing stuff. I follow the young people who are out here looking to be young philanthropists. So that's probably why mine is a little different than yours.
No, yours is a little different from mine because you are you and I'm me. You've been places that I haven't been. I've been places you haven't been. I think one way, you think another way. There's more than enough room in this world for both of us. But I'm always going to have examples that signify, things that I need to verify. And more than enough. But no, I don't rock out with young people. I don't. This show, when I create this show, I always label it not for kids. Because if you label it for everybody, then you don't get to have a chat. There wouldn't be no chat. I'm like, nah. Because they don't want, they don't. But as you know, some young kids be sneaking in here. You know what I mean? I'm like, they 13 years old. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, young boy. But yeah, I'm not going to deny the influence of social media because as much as people try to write it off like it's not real or whatever, it's real enough. It's a reality that exists, and if it exists, then it has an air of reality. But somebody who believes in AI ain't gonna tell me that they're not influenced by social media. Fuck out of here.
It'd be some crazy shit. You sent me some AI shit this past week. No, was it last week or last week with the Jay-Z face morphed onto Lionel Richie head?
Oh God.
All night long.
All right, but yeah, middle-aged women normally have things that they can normally do things that a young person might struggle to do, like save money. When you're younger, you're not always good at saving money. You be blowing that shit. And of course, not everybody is the same. You know what I mean? One thing about money is you're either good with it or you're not. A lot of times you have crosses to bear. You got lessons to learn. You got, ways to go. Because I know plenty of middle-aged people that aren't good with saving money, even if they make good money. Saving is one of those things that you have to practice at. But I would expect a middle-aged woman to know how to put away a car, especially if she had kids. If you got kids, you don't know how to save money. I don't know what to tell you. You ain't got no stash? Like, how did you raise them?
Mm-hmm.
You parentally freestyled your whole your kids their whole life. Like what?
You know when I'm mature. I'm gonna tell you when I'm mature with changing my outlook on it. I'm changing my outlook with spending money on expensive shit. Right, and this is just on my young adult part. I had Father's Day was coming, right? And I just got my damn income tax return, bro. So I'm like, I'm a killer with this shit. I'm getting ready to get today. I went got the ostrich shoes with the gold buckle. Also got the belt. I had a tan outfit. Know what I mean? Went out there, bought me a nice, somewhat expensive watch. Even got my ear pierced, son. I went and got my ear pierced. You know what I mean? I felt good about myself. Had a pinky ring on. I'm walking bow-legged and pigeon-toed. I'm looking fresh to death. I go up in Club Vegas when it was on Delaware Avenue. Now it's Columbus Boulevard. I seen some more of the comedian just before I started doing comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in there. I'm up here. I'm walking around. I'm cool. When you got that shit on, people gonna flock to you. Shit, ain't nobody flock to me like shit, bro. I felt like a food stamp in that motherfucker, bro.
Yo, that's funny as shit.
I said, you know what?
A food stamp though?
I said, a fucking food stamp. A fucking what food stamp?
A food stamp. Like, not food stamps. A food stamp? God.
A food stamp. I walked around. I woke up the next day. I said, I will never do that again. Clothes do not make a man. You make them clothes. So whatever you throw on,
that is so true.
You make the clothes. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, my philosophy was I'm going to wear whatever the fuck I want to wear. It's going to be less expensive. The only thing that's going to be somewhat expensive is what I wear.
Is what?
But that same philosophy applies to, like you said, a woman getting a tattoo. That same philosophy applies there too.
Yeah,
I think that's a personal preference.
I mean, it is a personal preference. I'm not going to debate that. I just think that at a certain age in your life, tattoos shouldn't be relevant. I think that's a young person. I think that's a white person, a light skin, or a caramel skin type person. Type decision.
That's what we doing.
I don't know, because I mean, because it's an art, and some people some people started getting.
I asked that because I have a friend so I want to get my hair colored. I want to get a good cut and get it colored, and her main thing is that's for young people. And I'm like, well, what rules say only young people can have their hair colored? She's like, we're all too old to go around with wild colors in our hair. I said, I want to work in corporate America, and even if I did, it's my hair. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my hair colored.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. Somebody told you that you were too old to get your hair colored?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Then in that case, every middle-aged and senior woman in the workforce, especially white women in the workforce, is way too old. Because you don't hardly ever see white women at the job with gray hair. Gray hair is like...
No, she doesn't mean if you're getting your natural color. She means colors like crayons. Right. Like, I want purple in my hair. I want an ombre purple in my hair. And she said, I'm too old to get ombre purple in my hair.
Well, when you get that color in your hair, I want you to send Son a picture of the
Maybe
ombre
everybody's
purple.
gonna see it.
I've never seen. I don't even know what ombre purple is. I'm gonna have to look that up.
I don't know what it is either.
It's purple in different shades. It blends down into different shades and mellows out. I want it to be bold and vibrant and purple.
Yeah, you too old for that shit.
No, not. It's a personal preference. I'm not too old.
Grow up, Kim. You doing too much. I'm fucking with you. Look, you do it. I mean, people say I'm too old to wear gold chains. I don't give a fuck. So I can't say shit.
No, they be saying, yo, you too old to be wearing them fake gold chains.
I'm not sure if there's an age limit for that.
I know. Oh man, boy. These people.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm serious, boy. You're never too old to do whatever you want to do. I just say this. Like, one time I went out, my cousin had took me out. I'm hanging out with him. I'm like, and we in an older bar. We at the Crab Tavern, son.
Mm.
And I'm like, when do the age limit of getting a BBL stop? I'm in this motherfucking place. This motherfucker's 60, 55.
I think that's for nobody. I really think.
Wait, look. I was about to say that the age limit for to stop getting a BBL is whatever age you start. You need to stop before you start.
I think things like that are. I mean, and I'm sorry if it offends somebody. Well, no, I'm not. If it offends somebody.
You talking about you talking.
Yeah, I had to catch myself because I was going to tell a lie. That's why I said I'm not. You know, my opinion, I think that is more of a discomfort with being who you are. I do.
Ain't no doubt about it.
And it's not always been something popular. It's not always been anything.
Shit don't make no sense.
For something like that, that falls under women who can't leave the house without makeup. There's something about you that doesn't make you comfortable with your natural self, you know? And I don't mean a little lip gloss here and there, because I want my lips to pop when I leave the house. I'm talking about somebody full face. It takes 2 hours for you to beat your face down and leave the damn house to go to the store or the post office. That's the problem. And that's where I feel about that body image thing. You know, that there's a deeper something there. People who spend a lot of time getting on the table and risking it all because they need to look a certain way to make themselves feel good. I think there's a different issue there. And I could be completely 100% wrong. It's just my opinion of it. But I do feel like that's a deeper issue.
Yeah.
Like I have a member of my circle who, she said, I do this because I love myself. This bitch, and they had 2 bariatric surgeries and still eat like she don't know how to eat. Like she just tasted food for the first time in her fucking life. I said, she's on the road to having another one in the next 5 years. Then she went and got this tummy tuck shit. And she just keeps doing different things to her body. And she doesn't realize it's making her look a hot mess. And I don't mean a hot mess in a mean girl way. I mean a hot mess where it's like, girl, are you okay?
That's not being a mean girl. You just telling the truth. Shit don't make no sense.
Her fucking face. Her teeth look like they're bigger than her whole face. And she's no bigger than a pencil. And in her head, she sees something else. I think that's a sadness. That's something else there. And her response to it is, I do this because I love me.
Oh, God.
You don't love me.
All the fucking excuses. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying, trying that bug.
Something else. Now, what I think is too old is if you haven't always worn baby hair, then all of a sudden you see people doing it, and now they see this going all the way down to your damn eyebrows, and you 57 years old. It's like, girl, what is happening with you today?
Lord.
Because you saw this trend and you thought it was something to do? No.
You know what? You waited until 5 minutes before this show and to trigger me. That fucking baby hair shit. That fucking baby hair shit.
Trigger you too?
You know why it triggers me? You know why it triggers me? Because babies don't have baby hair. You know what I mean? And they disrespecting it. They disrespecting babies. Babies don't got baby hair. They just got hair. Meanwhile, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds got fucking baby hair, covering up their no edge hat.
Where did it come from? They haven't always done that ridiculous mess. It's just a stupid looks a mess.
You know the fucked up part? Now they got, you go to the hair store, they got baby hair tape that you can put on your head.
Yeah. Them little fucking, that little.
I saw that and I want to punch everybody in there. Because I said, who made this bullshit? Who and why?
It looked like they got one finger wave on both sides of their head.
Man, that's a mess. That is I can't tell you how that gets on my nerves so bad.
Let's get to
nerves.
Ooh, let's go to the poll question. Ooh. Look, the poll question. Look, why do our minds start thinking of the bad bitch mentality when we think of young women? 53% said most of them act that way these days. That's a goddamn disgrace. And I don't even think that's true, but I understand. 19% said, I don't know because most aren't like that. Another 19% said, my view of young women is positive. And only 8% said my view of young women is negative. I think in a different space, that poll would be different. Because how can you say 53%, how can 53% say most of them act that way, but then say my view of young women is positive?
Mm-hmm.
But only 8% said my view of young women is negative. Well, you prove that your view of them is negative by the 54%. For real.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do these birthday shout outs. This is cool.
Look.
Look, birthday shout outs. I'm going to do it while y'all on the line. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious February 26th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Stephanie Johnson, Shea Fields White, TJ Lee, Marilyn Anthony, Leo McNair, Gwen Stokes, Monica Trudeau, Shariga Sterling, Rima Thomas, Bill Muhammad, and last but not least, my man, comedian Miles Green. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious February 26th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, yo, young or old, both of them going to cost you a couple of dollars if you're a man trying to get with them. It's not necessarily having anything to do with, them being a gold digger or money hungry or anything like that. But anything that you want to possess, I would think that you would know that you have to invest. If you want to possess, you have to invest. Now, will you get what kind of return will you get on your investment? Well, I mean, that remains to be seen. Hopefully your stocks don't drop and you wind up having to sell. But life is a gamble. You put your cards on the table, roll the dice, see what happens. You know what I mean? The better you get at it, the more likely you are to, get a good return.
You still stuck. You got me stuck at possess and invest. God dang.
I know. I mean, you go for the rhyming thing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that was bar heavy. Bar heavy. That's that fifth state education.
I owe them too. But look. Listen, Troy, Kim, once again, I appreciate y'all coming through. Oh yeah, tomorrow for the, I hope both of y'all not coming through tonight because y'all not coming through tomorrow. You know what I mean? Because you know what I'm saying, y'all might have shot y'all load tonight. Like
I just want to let everybody know it's Pisces season, baby. Pisces season, baby.
It's definitely that. So this might be party Thursday, no show Friday and shit. But tomorrow at 1 a.m., we will be back with another Daily Go Getimism show. It's going to be the music show tomorrow, so we're going to have a lot of fun. Musical topic tomorrow. It's going to be a goodie. I got a little something
I might
cooking.
have some music for tomorrow, too.
You might what? Oh, okay. Well, that's a good look.
I might have some music for tomorrow, too.
You know what I mean? So y'all can say y'all goodbyes, and then we're going to get on up out of here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. All right, good. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. All right, holla. Oh.
Blessings, be peace, and blessings. Much love.
Peace, everybody. Have a safe one.
All right, y'all. Be safe. Hit the like button.
All right, boy.
Y'all be safe. Make sure you hug your loved ones and make sure that your loved ones know that they are loved. You never know. Good night, y'all. Peace.